I gave myself 10 hours to try and beat the current win percentage of the worst god in Smite. To find the worst god, I had to use this website called Smite Master, which has all the gods listed by their win rates. And as the win rates get lower and lower, we find the god with the lowest win rate, who just happens to be Tyr. He rocks a pretty miserable win rate of only 43.76% in normal Conquest. And when he is actually picked, he averages a performance of 4 kills, 5 deaths and 8 assists. My mission here is to play Tyr for 10 hours straight and see if I can beat his win ratio of 43.76%. Now you might be thinking any pro player or gamer with thousands of hours into Smite could easily beat this with a bit of practice. Well, what happens when this challenge is attempted by someone with only 300 hours and who hasn't played any single god for more than 5 to 6 matches?
Yeah, boy.
Well, that's me in this challenge. That is the starting point that I'm at. An inexperienced Smite player who's never spent enough time with any single god to actually have a main or have any sort of mastery. Run away! Run away! Oh my god. Oh no! Oh, I did not think that through! I've also never played Tyr before, and I've also never played against him in solo lane either, so this is going to be really interesting. There's a couple of rules for this 10-hour challenge of mine. Firstly, of course, it's 10 hours. I can do it over multiple sessions as long as I just pause the timer. I get one warm-up game in solo, which will be arena, and that doesn't count towards the win percentage. Only matches in the Conquest mode will count towards the win percentage, and I'm not allowed to use any build guides. I've got to figure it out for myself. Before I begin this challenge, there is one thing I desperately need.
But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
So I started the challenge in tutorial mode to get a little bit of understanding of how to use Tyr before I rushed into a game.
Let's go!
And we're off. So first things, since this is a new god who I've never ever played, I've got to get an understanding of how good old Tyr works. Right, his abilities. So he's got his 2 stances, and his passive is he can only be stunned for a maximum of 1 second, taunt, spheres, roots, etc. In terms of passives, I would say it probably falls in the middle. It's pretty good, it's not game breaking, it's not that helpful. I'm hoping it will help, but it's not bad either. As Tyr is a stance switcher, he can change stance using his 3rd ability. Adding points into this as you level up will provide protections when he's in his blue defense stance, and add physical power when he's in his red attack stance, and half of each is active while in the other stance. His first ability is a charge which does more damage in his attack stance, and his second ability is a sword cleave that provides knockback when in his attack stance to enemies in the air, and it heals him when in his defensive stance. His ult ability is a massive sword jump, and when it smashes enemies in his defensive blue stance, it stuns them, but if it's in his red stance, his attack stance, it just does a lot more damage. He is quite a complicated character, I can't lie. And when I was messing around in the practice arena, I noticed something straight away. He attacks so slow. I don't know how I feel about this build I've already set up. It was time for my practice match in arena. Was I nervous? Hell yes. I can't lie, this was a bit of a car crash.
Justice shall be done.
First practice game with Tyr. Let's see how he plays before we start getting in some Conquest. But no, look, he's here somewhere. Okay. God damn, Tyr's slow. I feel like he's like the slowest man alive. And there's the first death with Tyr. This ain't going great. I finally got a kill. Oh my god. Double. Okay, I didn't get double, but I got a kill.
Jesus Christ.
Run away.
Enemy shrink.
Oh my god! Inhuman reactions!
That wasn't a great start, I'm not gonna lie. I was clearly let down by the rest of the team though, since I only contributed 10 of those 36 deaths. He's a little slow. We've done half an hour, and now we need to actually start a Conquest game. It was time for my first match, and it couldn't have actually started worse. So this is what you get when you play normal games. You get a Cucullin as your carry, and you get put a support.
What the fuck?
So this is going to be a great start for our first game. Absolutely fantastic. Playing support to a Cucullin. He's playing carry. This is absolute madness. Okay, right, Cucullin, I don't know how we're going to do this. But, you know, whatevs. Well, there's a kill with Tia anyway. Nobody's looking at us thinking, why there's 2 warriors in the duo lane? He was like, I haven't even got a chance here.
Now take all this.
I mean, we are absolutely cleaning up this lane. Absolutely cleaning up this lane. Apparently double warrior works in carry. I know we're going to drop off late game, but still. Despite the Tia and Cucullin duo combo somehow surprisingly absolutely wrecking in the early stages of the game, it wasn't made to be. We didn't just have one person rage quit because they lost their lane, we actually had 2 people rage quit in the first game, and 3 vs 5 is completely impossible. So the first game was a big fat L. Well, that's game. Not really my fault. Because, well, 2 people left the game. It's not really fair for this whole challenge, is it, when people are just doing that? Match 2 then started off horrifically as the jungler decided to live inside my skin for the first 10 minutes of the game, which meant I just couldn't get going. And then on top of that, everyone else just fancied fighting me in the solo lane as well. I let the team down big style in this match. I really didn't have a grasp of Tia's combos and what gear was needed at all for him to actually work. This just led to Wukong steamrolling me massively, becoming this unkillable beast, and it just spread out into other lanes. Even though I did terribly, I did manage a few assists and I was able to help the team get the Fire Giant in a few key moments, and it led to us actually winning the game. A win's a win's a win, bro. So in match 3, it turns out that Tia can be actually quite the aggressor when he's against hunters playing as a support, so I managed to really annoy the other team's ADC. Worth it. Which ultimately forced them to quit after 15 minutes. Lol, someone's quit. So match 3 was another win. In match 4, I was against Gilgamesh in the solo lane, and this is when I noticed I was spending so much time just standing under my tower. I don't think it quite sunk in yet, but now I know Tia has a pretty weak early lane phase. You've got to be pretty defensive. I was able to pull off one epic kill with my ult ability, but ultimately it was a dud and we lost. Time for match 5. Tia is an assassin in the jungle.
Tia.
This is gonna be a car crash. Let's be honest. That's right, I was playing jungle with Tia. I had no idea what to build in solo, so when I was getting thrown in jungle or support, I really didn't have much of a clue, but I had to give it a go. The other team's jungler took themselves as some sort of tough old boy and decided he would fight me at every opportunity straight into the game, which made for a really unexpected first experience playing jungle with Tia. Aha! First blood with Tia. What a crease. This jungler is absolutely having a nightmare here. Absolute nightmare.
Don't do it to me.
Again.
An enemy has left the game.
Oh, I think she's just left the game because of it. Oh, bless her. So things were going pretty well with Tia in jungle, I have to say. Until they weren't. Well, this is taking a bit of a turn. We are getting absolutely smashed. I didn't do amazingly, but I didn't do terribly as my first attempt of jungle with Tia. They didn't really know what to build. They didn't really have time to research anything. So it didn't go great, but at the same time, the team was shit. Match 6 turned out to be really sweaty, and I was up against someone who I just hate to face in solo. Really, really despise. Milan! I feel like I spend my whole time playing as Tia just only able to do enough damage to fight in a solo and just having to literally just defend under the tower. Which is not really fun, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of get why he's got a low win rate. It feels really difficult to use. Obviously he's one of the harder characters to understand. That makes sense, but still, it's kind of exhausting. Wow. Wow, run. Oh my god. Oh my god. That Mulan. I feel like every player who plays Mulan is always just amazing. And I'm stuck playing crappy Tia. who feels like the worst god in Smite, I have to say. We've just hit under 6 hours now. 6 games, won 2, lost 4. So, not great. I've still got another 6 hours to try and get better with Tia, but I don't know. Don't know how I feel about it, because I feel like I'm not doing that bad. I just feel like he's terrible in solo. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm not the best player. I'm not sitting here and saying I am. Of course, that's the whole point of this video, but he feels difficult to grasp and he feels like he just does no damage. And his heal ability with his sword is really bad. Like, it gives you 15 health per enemy and it scales from there, and like, it just seems like it's not enough in the early stage and it's not enough in the late stage. I just need to keep playing and get good. After match 6, I was feeling a little defeated. I really struggled in the first 5 to 6 minutes of the game and towards the end of the game as well. I just felt like I wasn't doing enough damage. And game 7 came along, which was another example of just feeling this way. And of course, it was another loss. This led to my win ratio being only 28.5%, the lowest so far. However, we still had 5 hours left to try and actually get a grasp on how to play as Tia. Over the next couple of hours, I played 4 games. I managed 2 wins and 2 losses, and as I kept playing with Tia, I actually fell in love with this item for him called Manticore's Spikes. This gives you 35 magical and physical protection, and its ability is every time you hit a god with a hard crowd control, you drop a spike, and if you pick it up, your next ability will do damage equal to 6% of the enemy's max health. And considering both of Tia's charges are classed as hard CC, it meant I constantly had 2 I could use, which meant that this basically just massively improved my damage output from all of my abilities. And this is the whole thing, you need to get your items right, and this item allowed me to pull off the greatest moment in my entire Smite career so far. Oh my god, that was saucy. I've been taking me that, yeah boy. Oh! So with an hour and a half left, we are rocking a win percentage rate of 41%, which is higher than I thought. I think I'm gonna have to at least win one of them to have a chance of at least equaling that win rate. Uh-oh, here he is, gotcha. Oh, I didn't get him, so close. Oh, I did get him, Oh my god. God damn Bacchus. Oh, at least I got Bacchus. Go down fighting, bitch. Oh. Surrendered because we were on the final charge. I mean, I was dead, but you know, I did pretty well there. I mean, 11 deaths. I died twice at the very end, and I actually found a build that I really like with Tia. Like something that I didn't think of, but I'm like, yeah, this is the vibe. This is the vibe. We are on 46% win ratio, which means that actually at this point, before the last game, 37 minutes left. If I lose this game, I don't know how it'll look. That's the problem. So still all to play for. And yes, this game may run over, but there's been times when I've been loading into games where I have left it running, which isn't really fair because I've literally been sat staring at the screen for sometimes 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes by the time you get into the game. So I think it's fair to give it an extra 20 minutes to finish off this last game. I'm feeling kind of nervous at the start of this game because I feel like if I lose this, the 10 hours I've spent, well, it won't be for nothing. I've learned a lot playing Tia. I've enjoyed parts of it. The first 5 or 6 matches, not so much, but, you know, enough about the feels. Let's get slapped one last time. Oh, thanks, bro. Much appreciated. We're gonna lose. We're gonna lose this one. Yeah, people aren't doing particularly well. Like, Nemesis is just up at the top there by herself. Like, great. Thank you. Oh, right, okay. Keep killing a couple of them, blah blah blah, vice versa. And really what we should be going for is the Gold Fury right now. But no one wants to literally follow me ever. I'm getting fed with this game, to be honest, because... not the game in general, but this match, because... although this game seems quite even in terms of kills and stuff, like... just no one is doing anything logical. They're literally just like hovering around trying to push a left tower when we could be getting a fire giant and rushing it. Because they're running off on their own, they're running off trying to get that one kill, but they're not actually helping the team in any way, shape or form. Which is a shame because I've had a belter game, a proper belter game here. That is just no teamwork at all. I'm actually just wanted to end. Even if it's a loss, I just want to end. I just don't want to be part of this team anymore. The other team's not particularly good either, but they've got more synergy than us, and literally it's just, you've got the carry in the jungle just running around doing the one thing. And now this is just exactly what happens. For some reason the other team aren't good enough to capitalise on it, but neither are we. We are just sitting around waiting for them other team to win at this point. I'm just so glad that's over. Although I did okay, that's a loss. The last game. That's 10 hours. Have I mastered tier? No. So I've just done the calculations. The goal was to beat 42.76%. Despite having games where people decided to leave matches, certain characters were playing in different roles, were not helping teammates, I've actually managed to beat that 43% by 0.09%. Damn. That's quite an achievement, actually. Alright, so I actually made a miscalculation when I was speaking there. Over the 10 hours, I played 14 total games. I lost 8 and I won 6, which actually gives me a win percentage of 42.85%, which means I actually didn't beat the tier win rate of 43.76% after all this time. I was pretty close. There was one game in the end, that last game decided it. So it turns out, yeah, Tyr is a very difficult god to use. Is he the worst god in Smite? I don't know about that. I think he's very hard to use. He doesn't do a lot of damage. I think you've really got to just build him as a tank and just hope everyone else in your team can get the kills. Thanks for watching. If you want to see me do this 10-hour challenge with a different god, let me know down below.